Okay, fellas, let's say you're on your job. You're working your 9 to 5, no matter what it is. But your job consists of a lot of bending down, kneeling, stooping, stocking boxes, cutting things, various duties where you're actually active on this job. All right, let's say you're like 6 feet tall. You weigh like 230 pounds, 250 pounds. So you're a bigger guy. On this job, you work with a group of men and you work with a group of women. Now, while you're on your job, performing your job duties, you know how people are bent over and whether their pants are sagging or not. Sometimes you'll see their butt crack, just like a woman's cleavage. If it's out there, if it's exposed, no matter what she does, you'll see, yeah, they bend over and sometimes you'll see that butt crack. Yeah. So let's say while you're on your job, you're doing these various duties, but at the same time, your butt crack is being exposed. Now, you're aware that this happens sometimes, but sometimes your hands be full or you be too busy doing something and your pants is falling and you got to stack your boxes or whatever. And when you're done, you'll pull your pants up. So this guy is not deliberately trying to flash people or expose himself to the males and female workers. But while they're doing their job, he's doing his thing, his butt crack is constantly being exposed. Well, one of the females from the group of females, she sees and she notices this. Well, instead of her going to HR or the management or supervisor, she goes throughout the job, floor, company, whatever, and she's hand picking female homegirls like apples off trees. She's hand picking them to tell them, "Oh, God, look at his blood crack." So they all stand from afar. They laughing, talking, making comments, remarks, opinions, and all this other stuff, and probably even making weird, that's disgusting sounds. It's like, so they're probably all types of things. They look at this man such as whatever. So I guess they get a wild hair up their butt and they decide to go to HR and tell HR. So they tell HR, HR, informs his supervisor. When HR informs his supervisor comes out to talk to the guy. Now the guy's sitting in his car on a break or whatever, smoking a cigarette. So now the supervisor is finally about to approach this guy about his butt crack being exposed constantly. So the supervisor walks up to the guy and she says, it's kind of funny, but it's not. First off, she's a supervisor. She's going to talk to him about something of that matter. How's it funny? Why would you even find that funny, first of all? That's not funny. Okay, well, it's funny, but it's not funny. So the guy's like, what's funny? So she tells him, one of the females, all the females, they're kind of offended. You know what I mean? Because they keep seeing your butt crack. But she was coming at this guy as if he was deliberately trying to expose his butt crack. And that's not the case. Now, keep in mind, while you're listening, this guy has been here for 3 years. So since the time he's been there, now, he's a bigger guy. He knows he's a bigger guy. Nobody knows he's a bigger guy better than he knows he's a bigger guy. Okay, so he's aware that his pants come down sometimes, and that could be a possibility that he could be exposed back there. But this is not on purpose, and this is not deliberate. You understand? So yeah, he's aware of that. So since he's aware of that, since he's been there, he's been asking them, yo, let me get longer shirts. Let me get longer shirts. We can avoid this. Let me get longer shirts. He wears a belt. You understand? He wears a belt. So this guy's not tacky. He's not slop. He wears a belt. But I was going to say, he's a larger guy. So sometimes, and that's with my experiences walking planet Earth. That's 9 times out of 10. Those are the people that I see when I see somebody's butt crack. It'll be a larger person. So whatever. But he's been asking for shirts to be longer so that way he's able to tuck them in. So while he's doing his thing, if his does get exposed, people won't be able to see it because his shirt is long enough, it's covering it. They never meet his accommodations. So fast forward 3 years later, up until this point, that's exactly what happened to him. He said he felt ashamed, he felt embarrassed because of the fact that when the female saw it, she didn't just go to the management and tell management right away to get the problem solved. She actually went and told her friends first. And they all congregated around the cafeteria table. And yeah, they laughed, they talked, they made their comments, their remarks. They're doing all of this stuff amongst the workers, they're conspiring amongst the female workers. And then they decided to finally tell management. Then the supervisor came to talk to him and this, that, and the other thing. So because now can we look at it a different way? What if that was a female and she had real big breasts and she can't help that because she was born that way? But while she's doing her job duties and this, that, and the other thing, her cleavage is either showing or she has a full shirt on, her tits are bouncing up and down. Right, guys? Like y'all know what I'm talking. Yeah, she's working and laughing and, nigga, you crazy. And, yeah, all these, okay. Well, let's say it's uncommon for a man to be offended by something like breasts. But let's say it was a married man. Let's say, or this man had different standards. And let's say this man was offended by that. Okay, if he's really offended by that, you think he would go to HR and management and tell him right away and nip the problem in the butt? Or would this guy walk around hand-picking homeboys like pomegranates off the trees from the south side? Would he do that? And all the men congregate at the cafeteria table? Now they're talking about this female's titties bouncing up and down. They're making remarks, comments, everything the females were doing. Now these guys are doing it to the female and talking about, ooh, look what. Then they finally go tell HR and this, that, and the other thing. And then they get at the chick and try to reprimand her or whatever. Would that be the case? Well, here's the question. In the man's case, do you think the group of females, do you think what they did, do you think that was sexual harassment? Be considered sexual harassment? Or could it be harassment? Which one? Could it be sexual harassment or just plain harassment? The fact that they conspired around the table and laughed and talked and shamed my nigga and probably said all types of stuff. Yeah, y'all got imaginations. Use it. Probably said all types of stuff about my dude, but they didn't nip it in the butt at first if they were so offended. So would you all say that's harassment or sexual harassment, or would you say it's nothing? Leave it down in the comments and let me know what you think. All right, I'm Charlie Brown, and that's my time. I appreciate y'all.